is Heidi with Kiddos Corral, and today I am going to be shooting my Love It or Leave It video. I know I told you guys that I was not sure how often I would get these videos out to you, but I definitely want to keep shooting them. So today I found a Pinterest recipe, which, you know, if you have ever been on Pinterest, you know that you kind of take a risk because you don't really know what is a good recipe, what isn't a good recipe. So that's why we do these videos, to let you guys know whether or not it's worth going out and purchasing all that you need to make the recipe. So today we are going to be making a lemon burst cake, and it is to be made in the crock pot. I have never made a cake in the crock pot, but I am willing to try to do this, and it's very common ingredients. So it's 3 eggs, which I'm just going to put in here, and it does say you can use a mixer, but I'm just going to whisk it up by hand. And then you are going to need 1 1/3 cups of water. And I've got my recipe written down here so that I make sure I don't leave anything out. And get my water in here. That's 1 cup. And here's 1/3. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and break these eggs up in here in the bowl. Get those good and whisked together. Hopefully you guys can see that there. And now it calls for 1/2 cup of applesauce. And I'll do anything for an excuse to buy applesauce because I absolutely love applesauce. So I'm going to put some applesauce in here. There we go. I'm going to give this a good stir and set this applesauce aside. That was simple enough. Now you need 1 box of lemon cake mix, and I bought the Duncan Hines Supreme Lemon Cake Mix right here. Hopefully you guys can see that in the video. And I'm just going to mix that in. Oh wow, that smells so good. Smells like summertime. I make lemon cookies with a box cake mix, and I will link that recipe down below for some of you that might be interested in making cookies instead of a cake. Of course, you gotta mix it yourself, and it's not made in the crock pot, but they're definitely worth making. They are delicious. So you want to get this good and stirred. You will make sure you get it nice and smooth and relatively no bumps or lumps. All right, I'm going to check my recipe and make sure I got everything, and I did. Now it says that you need to spray your crock pot. Now I'm just going to move my camera a little bit just so that I can double check what is being filmed. Oh, we're good. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to spray your crock pot with Pam spray. And it says generously, so we'll give this a good dousing without gassing ourselves here. Don't want any cake to stick. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna plug up the crock pot. It says to set it on high. All right. And now we're going to use a spatula. You don't have to use a spatula, but I like to use it because it gets all the cake mix out of the pan. And we're just going to pour it directly into the crock pot. I thought I'd make my husband and I we've had a very stressful couple days with a sick puppy dog, and just been trying to take care of him, and thought that I would make my husband and I a nice treat. Hopefully it'll come out. A nice treat, and maybe a cup of tea or a cup of coffee this evening. So it says to put it on high and put the lid on. I'm going to grab the lid. It's here behind me. Okay. I'm grabbing my lid. And it says to let it bake in your crock pot. It says to 1.5, which is 1.5 hours to 2 hours, depending on when a toothpick will come clean through the center. So we will just let that cook away in the crock pot and see what it looks like when it comes out. And we will be back in a couple hours. And I can't wait because I think this might be a good one, guys. I don't know. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, guys, I am back. It's been an hour and a half, and I have a toothpick here in which I'm going to open up my crock pot, and it says just to insert this and make sure that it's done all the way through. Yeah, I believe that it is done. See? And can I just add that my house smells so good right now. And I'm going to lift up the camera so you guys can see in there a little bit better what it looks like. Can you see that? And what I'm looking at right now is I'm wondering if it's going to be super, super hard around the edges. So we'll see when I cut it. So now it says that I am to take a knife. And I'm going to move my stuff around a little tad bit here. I'm going to get a plate. And it says to cut this here cake into slices. And I just kind of want to make sure my camera is picking it up so you guys can see. It feels moist cutting into it. Obviously the crock pot is not as big as if I would make like a 9 by 13 cake. I'm going to try to get something to get this out with. It says it should pull out easily. So let me cut it a little bit more. I can tell you can smell this cake clear through my house. All right, here we go. Well, here's one piece. That looks pretty good. Just making sure I get it good and cut. Just kind of holding together on the edges. Here's another piece. And it says once you get it out, if you are if you think these are too big of slices, you can obviously cut them again once you get them out. I think I'm gonna have to get another plate to hold these. Oh my goodness, they smell really, really good. Looks a little bit overdone a little bit on, let me see if the camera will pick this up. Can you guys see the sides? It's not burnt, but it's just a tad bit overdone for my preference. But I think once we get these iced, I think that they will taste pretty good. So I'm gonna just finish getting these slices out. Seems like it takes taking me forever just to get some slices out of here. I'm just loosening it up to get it out. It is coming out clean. You know, there's nothing sticking, so that's good. And I hope you guys aren't just seeing my arm the whole time in the video, and I apologize for that, but there's just only one way to film in here. All right, I'm getting another plate to put some more pieces on. Okay. Now, I figure you could frost this with anything that you would want to frost it, but since I'm following the Pinterest directions, it's asked for a can of cream cheese frosting, which I bought. Okay, I'm gonna cut this one piece a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, and it says to let it cool just a little bit. Let me see if you guys can see my pieces here. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, which it already is. I didn't realize I did that. But here's my cake. And I will tell you, it smells really good. I'm gonna eat this little piece. Mmm. That's good, and it's nice and moist. It is very nice and moist. Now, it asks for, and hopefully I can find it because my son had it out the other day. Here we go. A little bit of lemon juice. And what it wants you to do is to take your icing, and I'll show you the one that I got right here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. It is evening, so it's kind of dark in here, but this is the cream cheese icing from where I just picked up at random at Aldi's. And I don't think it's going to take all of this icing, so I don't want to waste it because I can definitely make some cupcakes or something else. So what I'm going to do is just get a bowl. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the cream cheese frosting in the bowl. So maybe not quite half. I'm going to make sure you guys can see this when I do this. Okay, I'm going to move this over. Move my lighting in here a little bit better for you guys. All right. Okay, so you see my cake frosting here. And it says to just add a wee little bit of lemon juice. Now I'm using organic lemon juice. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of lemon flavor to this cream cheese. Frosting. Get this all good and combined. Mmm, that is good. It's a really fresh taste, you know, with the lemon juice. Very summery, so this is an excellent recipe for summer. So I am going to go ahead, and it says to just go ahead and put the icing on the pieces. And it's sticking, of course. Ugh, I don't like that. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, it's very messy. See how it's sticking? It's like pulling the cake all apart. Maybe it wouldn't do that if you let it cool, but the directions don't say anything about letting it cool. It just says to cut into pieces. So I think I'm gonna let this cool just a little bit more before I ice it any further. But this actually, from what I'm tasting, this looks like maybe it might be a love. So I'm gonna let this cool a little bit. I'm gonna ice, and then I'm going to probably put some sprinkles on the top to make this look pretty. And then we'll see what my husband thinks about this dessert. We'll be back. Okay guys, we have the cake and it is done. A few thoughts on it. It gets kind of dry on the corners and it's really moist in the center, and when you go to ice it, it kind of falls apart a little bit. But as far as what I've tasted, I think that it tastes really well. And tonight we're just going to have Dylan here. He's going to show us. Here, you want to just put a piece on a plate? Here's your fork. You can use your hands, whatever. And he can tell us. This is called a lemon burst crockpot cake. You can tell me what you think. I think it tastes good. What do you think? He'll give us a definite, honest opinion about it. What do you think, Dylan?
It's moist and the lemon tastes like candy.
It tastes like what?
It's moist and the lemon tastes like candy.
It tastes like candy? Well, that's good.
But it's somewhat bitter.
I think for a crock pot cake, I baked this for an hour and 15 minutes. I think personally, an hour, maybe 5 minutes may have been long enough. I would definitely pay a little closer attention to the baking time. But I think overall, if you are looking for a quick sweet treat, and on the plus side, I didn't have to turn my oven on, and it's 100 degrees outside here, and so we actually get cake without heating the house all up, so that is kind of a win-win as well. So I just put sprinkles. The directions, which I will list down below in the description box, does say that you can put lemon zest on the top. I didn't have any lemons, so I just did some stars that I had because I thought it made it fun looking. And that is the cake. I hope you all enjoyed this Love It or Leave It. And I think, do you love it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think it's a great recipe to make, and I definitely say it's a love it. So I will be talking to you guys again soon. Bye.